very sad time and hard to say goodbye. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Joanie Stupik. She's the Guidance and Control Engineer for Cassini.
Thanks, Linda. So I am part of the team of engineers that manage and control the spacecraft itself. And specifically, I work on the orientation of the spacecraft and point the cameras. Now, all of the spacecraft movements that we've designed for the whole mission through the grand finale are now available for anyone to check out in a program called Eyes on the Solar System, which you can find at eyes.nasa.gov. Now, Eyes on the Solar System is a free interactive software that allows anyone to explore various spacecraft, not just Cassini, and planets in our solar system. Now, the special Cassini module highlights the grand finale specifically. So to enter the Cassini module, we'll click right here. Now, the first thing we can do is check out and see where Cassini is right now. So at this very moment, this is Cassini's position and orientation relative to Saturn and also relative to the rest of the solar system, which is hanging out right there. Now, to enter the grand finale module, I hit this button. And here we have a zoomed out view of Cassini's orbit right now. Now, when we come in close to the rings, we will still be outside the rings. So to make that final hop from outside the rings to inside the rings, we need Titan's help. So our very last Titan flyby will be on April 22nd. And this is a simulation of what the spacecraft will really be doing on that day. These purple lines here represent the radar beam as it sweeps across the moon and takes science. Now, all of the spacecraft movements shown in the simulation are using the real engineering data that I use every day to do my job. Now, when we get a zoomed out view of the trajectory, we'll see what Titan has done to our orbit. We can see that that last big tug that Titan gave us has kinked our orbit right here. And so it's now popped us onto the very first of the grand finale orbits. So the next time that we come in close to Saturn, we'll be inside the rings. So the first time that we'll plunge through that gap will be on April 26th. And you can see here we're coming in from above, looking at a bunch of things like the hexagon and taking new science. And as Earl talked about, the very first time that we plunge through the gap, we're going to be at a very specific orientation. Now, as Earl was talking about, we just don't know exactly where that D ring comes. We think we know, we're pretty sure, but to be on the safe side, we want to protect all of the science instruments on the body of the spacecraft from those pieces of dust going. You can see here, right now at 74,000, it gets up to 76,000 miles an hour. So at those speeds, even a tiny piece could do damage to our science instruments. So we use our high gain antenna as a shield to protect the rest of the spacecraft. And the other thing that we can see is our distance relative to the cloud tops of Saturn. So in this case, we can watch as we plunge through, and the distance gets down to about 1,800 miles, which is very roughly the distance across the continental United States. And in space terms, that's a really short distance. And we can also sort of get a little peek through Eyes on the Solar System at some of the spectacular views that we expect Cassini to see. But that was just the first of 22 proximal, we call them proximal orbits because we get in close proximity to Saturn. And so we'll do a total of 22, and so we'll be crossing through the ring plane about once a week. And as Earl alluded to, each time we come out far away from Saturn, Titan is pulling us a little bit, and that essentially moves where we intersect the ring plane around, and so we are different distances from Saturn each time. And so you can see that in Eyes on the Solar System, we have the real trajectory, so you can see each time how far away we'll be from Saturn. And the very last time that Cassini comes to cross the ring plane, we will enter into Saturn's atmosphere and not come out the other side. And we can see right here, this is the point that Cassini will be intersecting with Saturn's atmosphere. And that will be a very emotional day for all of us. So Cassini received federal funding in 1989, and I was born in 1989. So you could say we're the same age, born in the same year. And Cassini left Earth when I was 8 years old. And so it's been an incredible honor and privilege for me to begin my career working on the last 4 years of such an incredibly successful mission. So I'm going to turn it back to Earl, and he's going to talk about the last few minutes of Cassini's life.
So that's how we plan to